The room smelled of roasted truffle and seared lamb. Crystal glasses caught the light like frozen fire. Everyone was seated. My wife's family, her siblings, their partners. Silver platters slid onto the table, except to the empty space in front of me. Her mother's smile was precise, like a scalpel. "Maybe leftover food fits you better," she said, her voice low enough for the table to hear, but loud enough for the shame to land. I didn't react. I just looked at her, then at the plate in front of me, empty but gleaming. Then I asked the waiter to send the owner over. When I first met her, she treated me like a stray dog her daughter had taken in. Polite enough in public, venomous in private. I believed time would soften her. I was wrong. In the early years, I tried. Birthdays, anniversaries, surprise visits with gifts. She accepted them the way one accepts a package they never ordered. My wife insisted her mother wasn't really like that I was imagining things. I wanted to believe it. I wanted peace. The turning point came months ago. We'd invited her to our home. She arrived 2 hours late, already drunk, and made a passing remark about how my financial limitations were embarrassing her daughter. That night, I overheard her in the kitchen with my wife, suggesting she consider other options before she wastes her best years. My wife didn't defend me. It was then I stopped seeing her as family. She became a problem to solve. I didn't plan in anger. Anger is loud. Anger is sloppy. I planned in silence. First, I learned her patterns, her favorite places, the people she boasted to, the restaurants where she reserved tables a month in advance to show her status. Second, I dug deeper. Quiet favors to acquaintances in the hospitality industry got me the information I wanted. Unpaid tabs she'd left in certain places, arguments with staff, and most importantly, a history of leaving her signature on high-value contracts without reading them. Third, I met the owner of her favorite restaurant. Not just met, invested. A silent partnership. My name wasn't on the menus, but I held enough shares to influence more than the wine list. Tonight was her showpiece. She'd invited everyone to celebrate her upcoming charity gala, an event she had no intention of funding herself. She wanted to prove she was still the queen at the table. She arrived first, of course, dressed like royalty. She'd arranged for every dish to be the most expensive item on the menu: lobster, wagyu, vintage wine. But she hadn't made the booking. I had. When the plates began to arrive, I'd given instructions to serve every guest except me. To her, that was a chance to humiliate me publicly. She took it. The smirk, the cutting remark about leftovers, the audience she thought she owned. I just smiled. "Could you ask the owner to come over?" I said. The owner came. She greeted me with warmth, ignoring my mother-in-law completely. I stood and shook her hand. "Thank you for arranging everything tonight," I said, my voice carrying just enough. As the co-owner, I wanted to make sure our guests enjoyed themselves. The table froze. My mother-in-law blinked like someone had just switched off the light in her head. "Co-owner?" she asked, her voice cracking. I nodded. 10% stake. Enough to have certain privileges, like knowing the full bill will be charged to the person who made the original reservation. Your name, wasn't it? Color drained from her face. "And," I continued, "given your past incidents with unpaid bills at other establishments, failure to settle tonight might affect your charity's venue contract." The owner placed the bill folder in front of her. 5 digits. The wine alone could have bought her a used car. She glanced around the table, but no one moved to help. Even my wife sat still, her eyes darting between us. "You," she started, but her voice failed. I leaned in just enough. "I could have embarrassed you outright. Instead, I'm giving you a choice. Pay quietly, leave gracefully, or I'll have to call security, and the local press will hear about your generosity." She paid, every coin of it, hands trembling. As she left, she didn't look at me, didn't say goodbye to anyone. The queen had abdicated without ceremony. I finished my wine slowly, enjoying the silence she left behind. My wife didn't speak. Not then, not on the drive home. Later that night, I sat alone in my study, the lights low, the city outside humming like an indifferent machine. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't even satisfied in the petty sense. What I felt was balance. The scales were even. People like her think cruelty is power. But power isn't in the insult. Power is in the silence before the answer. And mine was loud enough.